Now, let's go on to part C. Part C is looking for the percent. What percent of the total number of minutes the athlete spent training for the 5 days was spent on strength training? Okay. So percent total number of minutes. Now, we calculated, we have the total numbers, we just have to add them up. Let me rewrite this. This is 30, this is 70, this is 20, 35, this was 80, and this is 85. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add these up, and no, you do not have a calculator, so you have to do it by hand. Okay, so 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. So this is 8, this is 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 8 is 17, plus 3 is 20, plus 7 is 27, plus 3 is 30. Okay, so there's a total of 300 minutes. Now they want to know the percent of minutes for strength training. So now we have to count those minutes up separately. So strength training is the dotted line. So this is 20, 10, 15, 30, and 45. Okay. So then I'm going to add those up. So 20, 10, 15, 30, 45. Okay, so again, 5 and 5 is 10, carry the 1. So I have 1 plus 2 is 3, 4, 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Okay, so to get the percent, any percent is determined by the fraction. Okay, now, again, you do not have a calculator. So, what do you do? And the first thing I'm going to do is I notice that I have zeros on the end that I can drop. Because all zeros are space holders. So that leaves me with a fraction of 12 over 30. Now, I can reduce this fraction because both 12 and 30 are divisible by 3, giving me 4 over 10. Okay, now, if I was to put these zeros back, I would get 40 out of 100. So that is your percent. It's 40%. Technically what I did is I divided, when I divide, so to get a percent we do the division. 40 divided by 100 will give me 0.40, and then when I multiply that times 100, that's how I get the percent. So, but either way, I took a little shortcut there because I know that 40 out of 100, all percents are out of a total of 100. So that's how I was able to do that. So although I didn't have a calculator, I was able to figure, they gave us some nice even numbers to work with. Okay, now, last part, D. Determine whether the sum of the mean number of minutes spent on aerobic training and the mean number of minutes on strength training is equal to the mean total number of minutes. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of information here. So let's take it one step at a time, okay? It wants the mean number of minutes spent on aerobic training. So first we have to remember that a mean means the average. Okay. So to find the average, we add up the total number of, get the sum of the total number of numbers in the set, and then divide by the number of pieces of data. Okay, so in this case, aerobic training. That's the only one we haven't added up yet. Okay, because aerobic training is a solid gray. So this is going to be 10. This is 60. This is 50 and 40. Okay, so got 10 plus 60 plus 50 plus 40. Oh, I'm missing one. Oh, 20. There we go. I needed 5 pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So 10 plus 60 is 70. Plus 50 is 120. So this is 120. Plus 40 and 20 gives me 60. So that's a total of 180 minutes. Okay. And of course, that was over 5 days. So again, we do not have a calculator, so what are we going to do? Remember how to do long division, friends. 180 minutes divided by 5. So 3 times 5 is close, gets us close to 18. So 3 times 5 is 15. 8 minus 5 is 3. Bring down the 0. And of course, 5 divided by 6 times 5 gives me 30. So the mean for the aerobic training is 36 minutes. Okay, now it wants to know, it's looking for the sum of the aerobic training and the mean for the strength training. Well, thankfully, we've already added up the strength training. We did that in part C to get the percentage. So if we take that total of 300, oh, nope, 300 was the total, my bad. The blue was the strength training at 120. So I'm going to take that 120. So strength training was 120. If I divide that by 5 days, I can get the mean. So 2 times 5 is 10. That brings me as close to 12. Bring down the 2. Actually, I'm sorry, subtract 2. Bring down the 0. And 4 times 5 gives me 20. I apologize for the dog in the background. So I have 20. Okay, so now, but I need to go back to this sum. So 20 plus, I'm sorry, that was what I had left over, my bad. 24 plus 36 gives me the sum of the mean of the 2 types of training. So when I add this, I get 60. And the question is that equal to the mean total number of minutes? Mean total minutes. The total minutes we previously added up, and that was 300. And again, we got that from part C as well. So 300, let me change my colors here. 300 divided by 5, that's going to give me 60, because 6 times 5 is 30, and then we have the extra 0, so that has to fill the spot. So actually, the answer is yes. So that is what you would need to do to get full credit. You'd have to show all of your work, and then you need to make sure that you label. You want to make sure you labeled. So we did, what was the green was the aerobic training. So you have to make sure you labeled this. And then this was the strength training. and this was total minutes. But that's what you would have to do to get full credit for this question.